Welcome to the last Montober Extra. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about Jack Pierce, the first true behind the camera, dedicated special effects makeup artist. Not to discredit men like Lon Chaney Sr., who applied their own makeup and then did the roles. This was his era was the beginning of an era where the actors weren't doing that anymore. If men like Lon Chaney Sr. plowed the ground, Jack Pierce planted the seeds that grew into a full forest. He even inspired Batman's greatest enemy, the Joker. There is a film called The Man Who Laughs, and the script, that main character was abandoned by a group that would mutilate children and sell them to sideshows, and the main character had a permanent death's head smile. In the script, it was called Carved into His Face. It fell on Jack Pierce to design that makeup, and all the credit to Conrad Veidt for portraying the character. But it was Jack Pierce's design that inspired the Joker. Look up Conrad Veidt, Man Who Laughs. It's the Joker. Jack Pierce gave us that look. He designed Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein, the Mummy. He inspired men like Tom Savini, Stan Winston, Rick Baker, and so many more. Jack Pierce's fatal flaw, as far as his art, not that it wasn't brilliant, but he didn't necessarily get with the time. He very rarely liked to use appliances. And it was sadly ultimately his downfall because he was unceremoniously faded out for the new breed who began working with more appliances or just over masks and stuff like that. But Jack Pierce still, his craft came from little bit of money and having to make it up as you go along. And he was rather brilliant for the opening for the Mummy with Boris Karloff, how he had that great wrinkled look. What Jack Pierce would do is apply like a latex, but first he would stretch out the skin, apply the latex, let it dry, then when the skin wasn't stretched out, it would give that great wrinkled look. In the opening scenes of The Mummy, he used linen bandages. He basically baked them in the oven to get the dry, brittle look, and then he hand painted them so they look like they have the dirt and whatnot. His makeup was old school to the point where some of the actors would just, it was so painstaking and took so long to make that they would sometimes elect to sleep in the makeup so they wouldn't have to do it the next day. Not much I have to say on Jack Pierce. I just wanted to give you a little bit about the man who planted the seeds for the special effects makeup industry. Sadly, he died in near poverty, which is a sad story. A lot of these early pioneers in their field, when the more advanced people come, they get unceremoniously kicked to the curb back then and die with very little. But Jack Pierce's legacy lives on. To a lot of people, his Wolfman design, that's the definitive Wolfman. He designed the definitive Frankenstein's monster and Mummy. He's a true legend of the field, and so many of the best makeup effects artists today were inspired directly or indirectly by him, so we probably wouldn't have the special effects makeup industry today if it wasn't for Jack Pierce. Well, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna go watch Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein and get my final review out for all you.